And here we are at the end of day 9 of writing a whole novel. Of course, we gotta, put on our makeup while Beelog freaks out, get the goods in the cup, and then get started on some tarot for the day. Don't mind these pads here. These are actually for Beelog. You actually put them in the little diapers so that the diapers don't get soiled as easy. So, of course, now that I've showed you that, we had to put Beelog in the pants too, and he's not a fan of them, but he does get around in them. I had actually not done tarot on Saturday or Sunday, so this took like a good hour to get like 3 good days of tarot done. All while Belok was sulking because he was in his pants. But eventually, finally, we got over to the writing zone. I had to write out some notes for myself because I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm getting to the point now where I'm not really sure what the hell I'm doing. I have key scenes that I want to include, but actually figuring out how to connect them is obviously not going as well as we might hope. This is why we call this the vomit draft, because I gotta just vomit all this stuff out, knowing very well that a lot of it's probably gonna have to be changed by the end in revision, but that's revision's problem. That's future me's problem. Until then, we actually exceeded our word count for the day, which is great, and once again, whether all of those actually make it into the final remains to be seen, but we did it for now. And why am I always dealing with a million ladybugs in my house at this time of year? But after doing one thing was the next, which was setting up today's lesson for my students. Bilok was out of his pants by then, came out to hang out with me for a little bit, and that actually went pretty well getting the lesson done, so that was easy. Afterwards for lunch, I had ran out of turkey, so I had to make a grilled egg and cheese, and it was delicious, and it was going so well until I burned the other side, because I didn't realize I had to take it off sooner than the other side. We also got a new ramp for Bilok. This will get him in and out of his cage easier. After class, I was thinking of getting some pie crust for some chicken pot pie, but fuck you if you think I'm paying $6 for pie crust. Hell no, turned right around on that for the 2 things that I actually did go there to get. And I also was scoping out a bit of the price on something else I plan on making this week. But $6 for 2 pie crusts, you gotta be absolutely out of your mind. So after Belok came and welcomed me with some guacking, I got to making my own pie crust, which is infinitely cheaper than buying whatever the hell that Pillsbury nonsense is. I know a lot of people are probably like intimidated by pie crust, especially because people insist you must keep your butter super duper cold the entire time you're doing it, but like honestly, fuck them. It works just fine even if you have your butter melt a little bit because you're kneading it. Just put it all together, knead it up nice, wrap it up, let it freeze while you're making your filling, and you're fine. I also do have the filling recipe here on my blog, so if you just search up like chicken pot pie, you'll find it. Then whether you want to make your own pie crust or buy some is entirely up to you. But once that was done, I got to setting up the pie crust, and usually in the past I would accidentally make it a little too thick and it wouldn't cook right, but this time I finally got it to the right thickness. I even made it all nice and pretty in there. I had just like a tiny bit of dough left over after I kind of put the top on, so I figured I could cut out some shapes, put some flowers, but then I still had some left over anyway, so why not make a mini apple turnover? Literally like 3/4 of an apple, some sugar, some apple pie spices, mix them all up, press them into the thing, and there you go. Not only did I have enough pie crust for an entire pie, I also had some for one mini apple turnover. And of course, a big mess, yeah. But cleaning it doesn't take that long. 10 minutes to make the pie crust, maybe like 2 minutes to clean the table. And then there you go. You got some really nice food. But of course, now it's 9 o'clock, so I'm just going to put my feet up and with Belog walking at them, watch some Attack on Titan, and relax. Alright, so this is actually yesterday's video, but you know what? I wasn't feeling like editing it yesterday because I could already feel in my bones that it was going to be a fuck-ass day. I did have a manic moment though and decided to get all this laundry out, so that was cool. This is my boyfriend's laundry, that's his job to put away, but I like to put one basket in the other because it just saves some space. Then we have the morning routine of Belok being Belok. Look how excited he is to hop out and become a massive menace. Of course, we're also starting off with the breakfast of champions, which is some leftovers. And then we headed over for some tarot and some esoterica. If you guys have not checked out this channel, it is so good. He has so much incredible content. But then, of course, also we gotta pour the goods while our government drone very carefully watches over us. Then once our tarot is all done, it is time to write, as well as kind of handle some administrative stuff. But today was one of those days where the writing just wasn't super flowing, so that was a little annoying. It felt like one of those times where you're just trying to hit the word count no matter what. They weren't flowing as smoothly and speedily as they were before, but at least Belok was there to be a pudgy little bird. Then, as writers do, I had to Google whatever the hell these frickin' tables are called. And there's Belok using his ramp. I'm very excited that he's just using that and getting in and out of the cage, and of course also being a menace. He loves to explore, including going in all the places he's not supposed to, like my office. I feel like I have to rescue him out of this thing like at least once every 2 hours. But he's always on a quest to find new things to flirt with, so I mean, I don't know. But finally, we managed to hit the word count for the day. Thank God, that felt like ass. It was absolutely one of those moments where you're just kind of writing for the word count and you're kind of putting off getting into like the meat of what's going on. So no doubt revision's going to be fun with that one. But you know what? It still moved. It happened. But then we did some Patreon scripting and some Patreon video editing, which unfortunately I did not get to finish before I had to go to the gym. So that's going to be something we have to do again later in the week. We'll get there, just slowly. I'm really just trying to put some more effort into the videos, like more editing kind of finesse, I guess, and that ends up making it take a lot longer to get the videos done. But now, gym time is peace time. After doing a bunch of brain work all day, it's nice to kind of give it a break. And also get some Zaples, because it was St. Joseph's Day and the spring equinox. What better way to celebrate than with the Zaple and a little bit of self-care? Halfway through week 3 of writing, and you know what? I think we're still somehow doing good. Oh boy, here's yesterday's day 11, and I gotta tell ya, I knew it was gonna be messy, didn't expect it to be this messy. But we did get Discovering Christian Witchcraft and also Where the Gods Left Off back in stock, so I started yesterday by packing up a few books. Unfortunately, today was a little busy, so I couldn't pack up any more, but we did get these 6 done on yesterday, so that was really good. Packing books is like one of those quiet time activities that I just love to do. I like making the boxes, I like filling them, I like signing the books. It makes just an extra special note to all of the books I've already written. Because while it's nice to see that people get it on Amazon, it's even nicer to know that I can personally send it off. But after that, we went to my favorite Polish market in Rhode Island, which is up there in Pawtucket, all the way in the north. The amount of stuff they have is ridiculous. I mean, look at this cute little bread lamb for Easter. And look at all of these pickled mushrooms, like big pickled mushrooms. Of course, I had to grab some buckwheat. I love that stuff. And check out everything else they had. And it always surprises me when I can read stuff and it's like the same as Slovenian, like Samo najlepsze. In Polish and in Slovenian. That means only the best. But I also went to the gym that day, and here's where I'm going to give a trigger warning because I managed to get a body assessment again, and I am so mad. I'm so pissed. Over the course of 3 years, my body fat percentage went up and my actual muscle mass went down. What the hell have I been doing? If I was kind of like half-assing my fitness journey before, this just really kicked it off again, but it was already 5 by the time I got home, so the only thing I really could do was rage write my Patreon script and 0 words for the draft. So I'll have to write double on day 12. And here it is, day 12, aka the 3rd week of my writing. I was still radically pissed about that little body assessment I had at the gym yesterday, so of course I had to start with a workout. And also bake some bread because I was completely out. Also, I'm going to show you guys a really cool Serbian recipe with these beans sometime soon. Comment if you know which recipe that is. But with the bread in the oven and everything set up, I had to bully my bird a little bit, as always. And then another trigger warning for body talk, but like, I know that like maybe people are like, oh, love the body you're in, blah, blah, you look fine, blah. I hate it. I hate when people tell me, oh, but you look fine. I don't care if other people think I look fine. I want to sculpt my body the way a goddamn artist sculpts marble. But of course, I do have to take a compassionate approach, and that's where triple berry, magically, really does help. It helps a lot, because these berries are really good for love of all kinds, including self-love. And I know I need to approach the body thing with self-love, so it's been a bit of a challenge to get out of the goddamn it, how'd you mess all this up kind of mindset, but all I know is that at least now I have the motivation to actually commit to the fitness journey again and not just kind of half-ass it like I've been. But we got into writing, and somehow, oddly, when I said I was going to double my word count, I didn't know if I was going to do it, but I did. And not only did I, but I exceeded it. So that end of week 3 word count is looking mighty juicy. Already exceeded the monthly word count goal. But I also did get a couple shipments of, Discovering Christian Witchcraft and Where the Gods Left Off. And while I couldn't get the time to ship them on Friday or Saturday, I am going to get them out on Monday, and I did do the tarot pulls already for that. If you guys haven't checked out those books, you really, really should. They are a lot of fun. I think they've helped a lot of people with their practice in many different ways. But then with the bread all done, it was time for me to get myself off to work, in which I didn't realize that my university has chickens just roaming around. Luckily, the classes I teach are very production focused, which means me and the students were all just kind of able to work on stuff together, get some questions answered, all that, and then I was able to go home after and cook up a new dinner-made magic recipe. So that'll be something fun to look out for. All my recipes are on my blog. You can also join my Patreon and get like recipe cards for it. It's a lot of fun. But despite all of the challenges, this was still a very successful week.